What's up, YouTube? Bubba Nickel Barbecue back with you again. Wow, this is weird. It's like 2.5 years since I started a show like this, and I'm all by myself. This is the pre-show. The reason we're having a pre-show is I've got a lot of people asking me and Rob, what are you going to change on the hot seat? What's going to be the new format? We don't know what's going to happen. Please tell us. Please tell us. And so now I'm going to explain to you kind of our new format. So the first half of the show is going to be just three guys talking. We're not going to take any questions from the chat in the beginning. Then we're going to roll a kind of a clips of the week video. And then the second half of the show, Rob will put the StreamYard link into the chat. And people can come on one at a time and ask our guest, who this week's Coleman. You can ask him a question. Once your question gets answered, you get booted off, and the next person can come on. If you don't want to mic up and camera up, you can still ask questions in the chat, but don't put them on until we get to the second half of the show because nobody will be keeping track of them. Last note, all super shots, which are $20 minimum, all super shots, 10% of that will be donated to charity. And when Rob comes on here in a minute, he will tell you what the charity is because I told him I will forget what it is, and I have. So, Rob, if you'd like to roll the intro, I'm about done talking here.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. Sound right, boy.
Howdy, Rob.
What's up, Bobo?
Well, we already have questions on the song and whether it's right or white.
Hey, we thought we were going to have that. And that's see, we're already generating some conversation. That's good.
So me and Rob are, if you think it says white, me and Rob are white. So it would sound white boy.
But I think it's right.
We did a poll last night of people from multi-ethnicities.
Yep.
Male and female. And the answer was right.
Yeah. So that means I'm right.
So you want to tell the people who where the charity super shot, the charity that the super shot is going to?
So I think every show we're going to pick a different charity. This time we're going to use one that we've used in the past, and that's going to be Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, or CHOP. They do a lot of good work, so we wanted to, send some love their way. When why not? So yeah, 10% of every super shot, super chat, super sticker goes to them. For tonight's show. Next week, we'll pick somebody else.
And to answer Shane's question, you can ask your question. You just have to wait till the second part of the show.
Yeah, and you're going to preface that with Hobo's name.
Yes. Put @Hobo, and the rest will fill in because my name is fucking way too long.
Yes, people on mobile, you're going to have a hard time. You got to shorten that name.
It doesn't autofill on mobile?
I don't think it does. I think you got to type the whole thing out.
And Eastwind, I'm not wearing pickles glasses. Suburban Barbecue sent me these glasses out of the kindness of his heart a couple years ago. And I thought for at least the first show, I should give him some. And I see that you, again, put us on Twitch.
I did. Do we have Twitch people?
You have a Twitcher.
Yeah, we'll see how well that goes. So we decided to go ahead and try Twitch as well. If you want to find us on Twitch, it's BBQ Hot Seat. on there. But we tried that last night for funsies, and we ended up closing out that stream. So we'll see.
Well, you might as well bring Coleman on here now because you already got super shots coming in, and if I'm drinking them, he's drinking them.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Hey, thanks, Joey. Well, once we get Coleman on here, we'll take care of that. We'll take care of that super shot. So yeah, we got Grillin and Chillin with Coleman. Coleman from Grillin and Chillin with Coleman tonight. He's been a YouTuber for maybe 6 or 8 months or so, I think he said. And let's see what he's about. Rob, roll the clip.
Hello and welcome to Grillin and Chillin with Coleman. My passion is to help grilling and barbecue enthusiasts become the backyard grill master they've always wanted to be. Now, I've got to be honest. If you're looking for a YouTube channel that's going to help you become a better competition griller and help you make sliced brisket look good in a styrofoam box, then this is probably not the channel for you. But if you're looking for some tips and techniques on how to grill and barbecue better for your backyard get-togethers, then you're in the right spot. In my videos, I share tips on everything from a gas grill to a Weber kettle, and finally to my Kamado Joe. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing, and I'd love for you to join our Grillin and Chillin community on Facebook and Instagram. I would love for you to have one of my Grillin and Chillin stickers. Just go to my website, click on the Contact Us page, send me your mailing address, and I'll ship one right out to you. I'll even pay for the shipping. I always enjoy spending time with you in the GNC kitchen and sharing my recipes. Now, y'all go grill something.
Coleman, welcome.
Howdy, welcome to Grillin and Chillin with Coleman.
So first off, we got to take care of.
I don't know if it's me lagging or the show lagging, but I'm not catching you guys.
Well, the laptop will always
Let me have my wife get off the internet. I don't know if that'll help or not.
I think you do look a little fuzzy.
We'll get.
Let me have my wife get off the internet.
You just want to be able to talk about her.
Yeah. Hey, hon, don't watch.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So what do we all pick tonight for the?
I did a lot. What are we drinking?
Yeah, what are we drinking? Because we already have a super shot we got to do.
I've got Old Smoky's salted caramel whiskey, and I mix it with some Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
I either drink that or.
I got Jim Beam Repeal batch.
Okay.
I've seen before. Never tried it before.
I'm not a hard liquor person, so I'm just using beer.
I think you gotta have to like chug a beer for each one of these then to keep up.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But anyways, here's to
yeah.
Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
Oh, that's not bad.
Ooh.
Woo.
I appreciate you guys having me on tonight.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
So last night you went live, you kind of answered half the questions in the hot seat. So
yeah.
Well, but none of the same folks are on my show as are on here. So,
but one thing I picked up on that I want to talk about is you said you guys name all your animals after things in the liquor store.
We do. Yeah.
I guess number one, how did that come about? Whose idea was it? And if you want to go into, I know you went through the 3 dogs last night, but if you want to run through that gamut.
Well, I was a single dad for many years, raising 3 kids by myself, and then I started dating my son's 6th grade teacher, and we were dating, and I went to her on one of our first dates, and I said, yeah, I got to tell you something. First of all, I'm not an alcoholic. Let's start off with that. But second of all, I name all my animals after alcohol. And I started doing that probably, 20 years ago. And back then I had horses and goats and cows and chickens and every other kind of animal you can imagine. And so when we got married, we just continued the tradition. And at the time when I met her, I had a couple horses, Hennessy and Bourbon, and several goats. Had a steer that I bought every year and would raise up and butcher. His name was Beefeater. And
every year was his name Beefeater?
no, no. It's funny when I got my steer, I told my wife, I said, don't pet him, don't go near him, don't name him, don't befriend him. He's going to wind up in the freezer. Well, that didn't go over real well. So we eventually wound up with a 1,200-pound puppy that would roll over, and she could scratch his belly, and she could, she'd call him and he'd come running, and it was her pet. So he didn't wind up in the freezer, and that was the last steer I bought because I didn't want to have to go through that again. I couldn't afford to feed that thing. But we've got 3 dogs now. We love the big dogs, so we've got a Mastiff, an English Mastiff. Her name is Shiner. Got a boxer. Her name is Paloma, and then my wife has a mixed breed, half Shih Tzu, half Jack Russell, so it's a Jack Shit, and her name is Chardonnay. And then my wife has a bearded dragon, and his name is Newcastle.
Okay, cool.
So just a tradition I started doing 20 years ago, and the kids and my wife and I, we just kind of continued it and kept it up.
Yeah, now you mentioned horses and steer and this and that. You must have, at least an acre?
Well, we've got 7 acres now.
Okay.
And we live on a 28-acre private lake, and there's 4 properties that surround the lake, and we all keep the lake. Now, since my kids have moved out, I don't do horses anymore, or goats or chickens. We just do the dogs and the lizard. But I'm trying to talk her into getting chickens, but that's not going over real well.
Oh, geez, free eggs.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, so 28-acre lake, is it good fishing in there?
Man, last year she pulled a 4.5-pound bass. Our neighbor pulled an 8.5-pound bass, and the fishing is amazing in this lake. You go out there in one evening in the summer and for an hour, and you'll catch 10 bass. And we were told we needed to pull 100 fish a month out of that lake to get the population down. There's just so many fish in our lake. So
you're allowed to pull whatever you want out.
Oh yeah. It's a private lake, so we all have room in here. We stocked it with catfish about 5 years ago, so it's got a good level of catfish starting in there. But the bass are just overwhelming.
Nice. Is there like piers, or are you going off the land, or do you have a boat?
Yeah, we've got a kayak, some couple canoes, and some john boats, and everybody's got their own dock, and we pretty much have an agreement. We just kind of do a full rein. Wherever you want to go, wherever you want to fish, it's all pretty much open. Okay. And we all agree not to use fertilizer on our grass and put nasty stuff in the water, so we can all safely eat the fish. And when it comes time to stock it or clean it out, we all share in the cost. So that's agreement. Got some good neighbors.
Nice. Is there any kind of maintenance you got to do to a lake?
Other than the moss and the grass that's in there every year, sometimes we'll pull it out and rake it out. This next year, actually this spring, I'm putting in some grass carp. I'm going to put in 4 grass carp that'll get up to about 60 pounds. Okay. I'll put those in the lake, and they'll help keep the moss down.
Nice.
So,
and are you somewhere where it freezes? So you got a little hockey going on there?
No, it does freeze here, but not enough to get out on the water. Last year the lake froze completely over, but it hasn't this year, and we haven't gotten any snow yet this year, but we usually get at least a half an inch. I mean, this is Texas, so half an inch and it's gone by noon. So I was watching your video earlier about you plowing your snow with your tractor, and I was like, oh, heck no.
Oh, yeah. I tried to do that again the other day, but one of the pulleys cracked, and then just totally ate up the belt, and nobody's got the belt in stock because it's a popular snowblower, and then, so then I had to hire somebody to come plow.
Well, my son grew up in New Mexico and Texas all of his life, and he's decided to buy a 69-acre blueberry farm in northern Maine. And this is his first winter up there, and he's having some challenges with the snow.
Nice.
Hey, Rob, you're going to need to get a moderator on Twitch.
Yeah, I guess, right? Yeah, I think maybe we just forget the whole Twitch thing. All right, if you're looking on Twitch, just come over to YouTube because I'm about to kill it.
You got some weirdos over there?
Ready? Boop.
Ready, go.
Boop.
For everything Rob and Hobo have done for us, congrats on your first hot seat. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Josh and the cooking, babe. the cooking bit. I got it. Fuck. Jesus Christ. I'm not even 2 shots in, Robin. I'm butchering this.
It's only 15 minutes in. Thank you.
Oh. Chug.
All right, Coleman. So how'd you get into cooking? Not necessarily YouTube, but let's start from here. What's the first thing you remember cooking?
You know, I've seen that question asked quite a bit, so I got some time to think about it. And I think one of the biggest inspirations for me when it came to cooking was my nanny. My mom's mom spent a lot of my nanny, and spent a lot of time with her as a kid. And she lived out on this property in New Mexico, wood burning stove, no electricity, outhouse, no running water, and she lived there till 2002, and I bought the property after that. But I remember her cooking on the wood burning stove and making biscuits and gravy, and they used to have a ranch in Texas. And as a child, one of the first things I remember cooking is we would go out and gig frogs, and then come back to the house and make frog legs. And she'd be cutting them up on the table, and they'd be jumping off on the floor, but she was probably my inspiration for cooking because she did a lot of cast iron stuff. So most of my history when it comes to cooking is mainly cast iron stuff. So I started off in the Boy Scouts when I was young because I didn't have a dad growing up. So my mom, stuck us in Scouts so she can get us out of her hair. And so we did a lot of campfire cooking, a lot of Dutch oven cooking. And then as my boys grew up, I joined Scouts as an adult, started a troop, and then went to work for the council teaching outdoor cooking. I did a lot of cast iron cooking and campfire and tenfold dinners and all that stuff, teaching for the Scouts. And then eventually my mother-in-law was over here one day and for my birthday, and I was cooking for everybody in the outdoor kitchen, and she just spouted off and said, "Hey, you need to start teaching this stuff. You need to have classes. You need to make videos. You need to do something." And I just kind of brushed it off at the time and really didn't think about it much again. And then when COVID hit, I got to thinking, man, I'm going to be home a lot more. Now would be a good time. Let's try this thing out. So I started filming YouTube videos in April of last year.
Cool.
So someday I'll get good at it. I think my videos are still pretty amateur, but
no, I love your videos. They're super instructional. And, like for instance, I think you had mentioned this before too. You're saying, hey guys, making some chicken today. We're going to cook this and on indirect heat. And instead of just going on from there and doing it, you say, now indirect heat means this. And we're going to accomplish this on my Kamado Joe or whatever. I think you have Kamado Joe, right?
Yeah, I've got a Kamado Joe, a Weber, and a gas grill.
Yeah, so whatever you're using, like the way we're going to accomplish that on this particular one is we're going to do this, deflector in or whatever, or off to one side. So you go into the extra details, which I think is going to help a lot of people out as they find your channel and go.
And that's kind of really the goal of my channel is I'm on a lot of Facebook pages for barbecue, and I see a lot of new folks get on there and they'll ask a question, and the rest of the guys in there will just berate them. I mean, just insult them for making ribs that fall off the bone, and they get to the point where they just quit asking questions. And I just wanted to make a Facebook page and then a YouTube channel where those guys can go and say, okay, I'm a man. I don't have any idea how to barbecue. Please teach me without insulting me. So that's kind of the goal of my channel is I want to help everybody. I want to help the new folks get better at the basics.
Yeah.
That's always a problem when you have the new people that come on, like you said, they get to a point they don't want to ask the question because people make them feel stupid.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
But there's no resources for them to not.
No.
They're not stupid. They're, what do you want to call them? Naive is probably a better way. And it's the same thing with if you watch. And I was going to ask you earlier about in your intro where you say, hey, if you're wanting to do competition shit, I'm probably not your channel.
Right.
So, did that come from somebody asking a question or like?
No, I really wanted to narrow down my niche when it came to YouTube. I can't appeal to everybody. And I put out a rib video here a while back where I did my ribs 3-2-1. They were fall off the bone because that's the way I like to make them. And I had so many comments in that video about, well, if you were doing a competition, that you would be down, you would be, cut points, you'd be kicked out for it. I was like, I really don't give a damn. I make them the way I like them. So I just decided then that I'm gonna try to help the backyard guy, the guy that just bought a grill. Maybe he uses it once or twice a year, and he just wants to get better at feeding his family and feeding his friends and putting on a barbecue a couple times a year and just make good food that tastes good for his friends. And I've never cooked in a barbecue competition. I know Kent, Daddy Dutch does it, and I love watching them. I love watching the shows on TV, but it's just not something that really appeals to me. I'm not excited about it. I'm not excited about laying out my ribs in a styrofoam box on a bed of lettuce and trying to get someone to take a bite of it and be amazed. It just I want someone to sit down on the back deck, grab a set of my ribs, get barbecue sauce all over their shirt and their face and their hands, and look at me and say, that was the best damn rib I've ever had. Nice. That's more gratifying to me than any trophy I could put on a shelf. So, yeah, definitely.
Well, there's a reason that Chili's has made probably $1 billion selling fall off the bone ribs.
Absolutely right. Yeah. My dad, for instance, he was over here one day, and I was making a set of ribs for him and his new girlfriend, and yeah, he's got a girlfriend, and mom just passed away. Anyway, we won't go into that.
Laughing about that.
Yeah. So, and he hates ribs, can't stand them, never liked them, doesn't like steak, and it's really because he only has like 4 teeth, so that probably has a lot to do with it. But I made ribs for him one night, and he looked at me and said, I have never been able to enjoy ribs because I can't eat them. I don't like the fat, the gristle. I don't like chewing on them. And I made those ribs for him, and he says, you know what? Those are the best ribs I've ever had. And that was important to me. And and I say in my video, if you want them a little less done, then just cut an hour off the time. Make it the way you want them.
Right. So I know you said you have your Kamado Joe, you've got a Weber, and you've got a stainless steel storage unit.
Yeah.
And I know you love the Kamado Joe, but how'd you end up with that? Because I seen you had a video a while back and also hit on this, where you were in some big barbecue warehouse store, etc.
I built my outdoor kitchen. If you watch my video, you've seen the outdoor kitchen, concrete countertops, all cedar. I built it myself, and I bought a real expensive gas grill because that's at the time when I built this thing. That's what I knew how to cook on, and so I built it in and started cooking on it, and then a friend of mine that I work with started talking to me about a big green egg. I was like, why anybody would spend that kind of money on a charcoal grill that's made out of ceramic? I don't get it. I would never own one of those things. It's just a waste of money. And he kept talking to me and talking to me and talking to me. And finally, I started doing a little research and watching some videos on the big green egg and the Kamado Joe and the benefits of one over the other. And then our home office that I work for is in Atlanta. And I got to go one day by Atlanta Grill Company. Now, if you guys have never been to Atlanta Grill Company, you got to go by there. It's an amazing store. And so I went in there and started looking at the Kamado Joes. And one of my misconceptions about the Kamado is that, I knew with charcoal, it burns out every 2 or 3 hours, and you got to refill it with charcoal. So if I'm doing a brisket for 8, 10, 12 hours, I got to keep taking it apart and filling it full of charcoal. I didn't realize that a load of charcoal could last 18 hours in a Kamado cooker. I didn't realize that. So once I learned that and learned some more about the Kamado Joe, I just broke down and I didn't just buy a little Kamado Joe. I bought the biggest, baddest Big Joe that I could find, and had it shipped here from Atlanta. And I couldn't even get it up on my deck. I mean, the thing weighs, I don't know if you guys have a Kamado, those things weigh probably 500 pounds. And had to call 2 or 3 of my buddies over and have them help me put it up on the deck and put it together. And I've been cooking on that thing ever since. I bought a pellet grill one time, I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't keep the temperature regulated. It was probably just me because I didn't know how to use it, but I just didn't like it. And so I switched over and started cooking on my Kamado Joe and doing a lot of my cooks on that. And it took me from like a 3-bar griller to, maybe a 4 now. I think I'm a 4 now. I think I've worked my way up to. But it just turned me into such a much better griller and made much better food. So now that I have it, I mentioned on my live last night, my gas grill. If you open the lid on my gas grill and look in it, that's where I store all my pots and pans and my cooling racks and my cast iron. That's where it stays.
Yeah.
But I do some videos on that. I did a couple rib videos on there. I've done some other videos on it. I've done some maintenance videos on the gas grill just because I know the people that are looking for my channel that do the basics. They're going to have a Weber kettle. They're going to have a gas grill. They're not going to have a Kamado Joe. So I went out and got on Facebook Swap and I bought a 22-inch Weber kettle used for $50, and just so I could do some cooks on it. And then for Christmas, my wife, she bought me a 26-inch Weber kettle. So, and then Slow and Sear sent me a bunch of stuff for it. So my next video, I'm actually going to be putting that Weber kettle together and doing some modifications on it, and I'm going to start doing a few more cooks on it. So
Nice.
Look at Mr. Fancy Pants over here with the ceramic acorn.
the ceramic one.
Yeah.
You got an acorn, don't you, Rob?
Yeah, but I got the steel one.
Now, how does it compare? How does it compare to a Kamado Joe? How does it? I was watching some of your videos today on it.
Oh, I love my steel one. I'm sure I would love a ceramic one even more. I think the ceramic one has a different grate. The steel one has little holes in the grate where you can put that little warming rack, but it's also a cooking rack. I've seen people put like 3 or 4 pork butts in there and using the rack to hold another one. Doesn't seem to get as hot. I mean, it's further away from the fire.
Okay. So when you load it full of a load of charcoal, how long can you cook on it before you have to put more charcoal in it?
Actually, I did a pork butt during the summer, and I mean it was overnight. It was fine. It kept its 250 degrees all night long. I'm not using any of those. They have those little things you can connect that have like the little fan and the regulator, and then
that's what I use
off and on. I didn't use any of that. Just once you set those things, and it's probably most Kamados. I've just never used any other brand of them.
Okay.
But this thing, I mean, you put in some charcoal, and if you bring it up nice and slow, and then you start closing things down as it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and then once you have it dialed right in there,
it'll stay right there.
It'll stay there all day long.
Definitely.
But
the learning curve on a Kamado is a little different. When I first got it, man, I would constantly want to open the lid and check and see how stuff was going, and my temperature would shoot up to 400 or 500 degrees, and it'd take them an hour to cool back down. I mean, it's ridiculous. So that's what I tell people in the videos: you close the lid up and don't open it till you need to, because
right. Hey, so do we have? So it looks like we have 52 people in here right now.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah.
Hey, I can't see the chat, but if any of my folks from Grillin and Chillin with Coleman and Grillin and Chillin with friends are on, put a thumbs up in there. I'd like to see how many of my folks are in there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So Coleman, if I knew you in high school, how would I describe you?
How would you describe me? Well, my whole life in high school was football. I was 15 years old. I was 6 foot tall and overweight, and I made a dumb decision to get on steroids, and so I took them all the way till I was 22, playing high school ball and college football, and I started drinking in high school, so I was a big mean drunk in high school, and not a whole lot of people liked me a whole lot, but I'm paying for it now. My body is falling apart and everything, but I spent most of my time on the football field and drinking Jack Daniels.
So, since you opened the door on the steroids, kind of explain about that. Explain the. I don't want to call it the pros and the cons, but you get what I'm asking. Why you said that?
Let me tell you the pros of it. When I was the summer after I turned 15, I was 6 foot tall, and was just a chubby kid. That summer, I used to be blonde hair and green eyes, and that summer my hair turned dark brown, my eyes turned brown, and I grew 4 inches, and I put on a ton of muscle. My senior year in high school, I was leg pressing 1,250 pounds and bench pressing 450 pounds. And I
what I do now
Yeah, me too. I was going to say, is that all?
yeah.
on a
And,
wrestling.
There we go. And sadly, it was my football coach that put me on him. And but that's the life of football back in the 80s. I graduated in high school, so I mean in '88. So I'm a little over 50 now. But that was the life back then. But the problem with me is I mix the steroids with alcohol, and it just turned me into just a mean drunk. And I finally wound up in jail when I was 22 years old, and just from something. I went to a bar one night and did something stupid and wound up in jail, and that's when I finally woke up and said, I can't go on like this. I quit taking the steroids. I quit drinking, and finally got my life back together. And I actually became a pastor after that for many years, and I was a children's pastor after that for 15 years. So, but it almost ruined my life. It just turned me into an asshole.
Gotcha.
So
Rob, we're at about the halfway point. Do you want to roll the clips of the week, or kind of explain them a little bit? Because
Yeah, let's explain it a little bit. So we have thought of something cool to do. Every week we're going to pick maybe 3 different snapshots from cooks that we've seen on YouTube over the past, since last show. So this one is I picked 3 out from the past 7 or so days. If you want to be featured in this, feel free to go to bbqhotseat.com, and there's a way on there to contact us. You can contact us to ask to be a guest on the show. You can, send pictures, to be included in this. And also I want to say, if you haven't gave a thumbs up or a thumbs down yet, do one of them. There's still some people in the chat. Let's see some action in the thumbs ups and thumbs downs.
if you really dislike this video, hit the thumbs down twice.
Yeah.
Hit the thumbs down twice.
Yep. Yeah. So let's check this out. It's not too long. I think it's about 20 seconds, 25 seconds. I tried to slow it down. So keep your eyes peeled and get ready. Hey, Rob, roll the clip. Yeah, so it's a fun way to get people involved, fun way to kind of shout out some channels. I know it went kind of quick. For the next one, I'm gonna try to slow it down a little bit, keep people on the screen a little bit longer so you can actually see what's going on. But yeah, every one of those videos is linked down in the description below. So make sure you check those videos out. If you're not subscribed to those people, check out their channel. If you like what you see, then subscribe to them.
So while Rob drops the StreamYard link into the chat, I'm going to cover 2 real quick things.
Thanks for reminding.
Looking to have a few different segments on the show, and Coleman got real lucky today. Because one thing we'd like to have is, and it may not be the same person every week, but if we could find somebody that has the comedy gold to be able to, whether you want to say roast somebody or what was the word I used last night, Rob? Berate.
You use berate. I think roast is good, or bro roast. Wasn't that?
Bro, and if it's a girl, it would be breasting, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that job, you can go to barbecuehotseat.com / leave a comment, or what is it, Rob? Message.
BBQ.com, and then once you're there, just look at the there's a menu, a couple different places there, and there's a way to contact us on the site there. Also, make sure you check out the site. It's pretty boring right now. It just has the one show, tonight's show, on there. But you can watch the reruns on there. It has links to the show on YouTube if you wanted to watch the chat along with it. I'm gonna try to put up the schedule for the next person every weekend.
So can I say something about the roasting?
Yeah.
So I was watching, Rob, I was watching your show the other night. I was watching it this morning, and you guys were talking about that, and you asked Daddy Dutch if he would take that position, and it really meant a lot to me what Kent said. It's not true, but what he said, he goes, I'll do it, but I'll wait till after Coleman. And you said, well, how come? Oh, because Coleman's too nice of a guy. So appreciate that.
Obviously, we're going to.
There he is.
Hey, Kent, real quick, give me a second to finish the last part here. Is the other thing we were looking to do, if you would like to take over the job of Clips of the Week, we're also hiring. And by hiring, it's kind of like Kent when he was hired by CJ. There's really no fucking pay. But
Yeah.
if you got a YouTube channel, like you can be like, and I'm just picking on the first person I see, Bottle Cap Barbecue, you get a little plug in the show. Free advertisement, but you can't use your own shit in the video. Howdy, Kent.
Hello, Homo. Hi, Rob. Coleman, nice to see you, buddy.
I feel like you have a question you'd like to ask. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a couple. First of all, I got a couple questions. I want to ask Coleman about how much cast iron he has and how good he is at identifying cast iron is the first one.
So I got to preface that by saying, when my wife and I first started dating, I was in my mid-30s, and her nickname for me was Cast Iron. And and it wasn't for my pots and pans, let me tell you. Anyway, oh
wow,
I probably have, and if my wife is in the chat, I probably have 150 pieces of cast iron. I got Griswold, Wagner, Lodge. I've even got some 1700s cast iron. A little tip on identifying cast iron is, for years, you see these skillets and these pots that have that line across the bottom. You flip them over and there's no labels, there's no names, there's no site. There's just a line across the bottom. And honestly, for years, I thought that was a crack where someone broke it and welded it back up. I then found out that that's actually a mold mark, and that cast iron is some of the oldest. It's from the minimum the 1800s, possibly the 1700s. But if you see a piece of cast iron that's got a seam on the bottom, you need to pick that up. There's also certain sizes that are more valuable than others. So always keep your eye out either for a Griswold or Wagner or an 1800 that has a number 1 on it. That's it's not an inch, it's not a 1 inch, but the 3 inch, the number 3 is about this big. The number 1's a lot smaller. That actually had to do with the wood burning stove hole on top that you could set it into. But if you ever find a little skillet with a number 1 on it, those things are worth a minimum of about $1,000. So pick them up.
Wow. Pick up 2 of them.
I have 2 pieces that are Birmingham Stove and Range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's actually who initially made cast iron, was a lot of the stove companies.
So, all right, the second question, and I already kind of talked to Hobo about this one. We've been chatting behind the scenes a little bit. And this is a question I have not been able to ask for a while.
Okay.
Because my pretentious former boss said, don't ask me that question anymore. So, and if he's in the chat, I still love you, Boo. See you in 3 weeks.
Kent, you guys got to come see me when you're here.
Yeah, I hope we can. I hope we can. We'll be flying in Wednesday, the 24th.
Okay.
We both fly in at 3:30.
Yeah, I heard that.
To different freaking airports.
Yeah, that took some planning.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a great job, guys.
Yeah, proud of you.
And that wasn't planned ahead of time.
I would fire your travel agent, whoever that is.
I can't. She's also my CFO. All right. So, Coleman,
Yes.
if you were stranded on a deserted island with Rob,
With Rob.
what is the first chunk of Rob you're going to eat?
You know, the glutes are always kind of juicy. I mean, that ham is just a good piece of meat to cook up.
Hopefully, I'd be dead first.
Did I answer too quickly? I'm sorry. Let me think about this. And I've seen some of
You're
his
not already
videos.
thinking about this, are you?
There's a reason I've been watching your videos, Rob.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all day long I get a little like, oh, I got an email or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who the
commenting
heck?
on my video.
Who the
Oh,
heck's been
Coleman.
commenting on my videos?
Yeah.
That's one thing I do. Whenever I watch y'all's videos, and I go out there and I try to watch everybody's videos. If I watch one of your videos, I'm going to like it and I'm going to put a comment on there because I know how it helps the algorithm if you do that. So please do the same for me. If you watch one of my videos, please like it and put a comment on there. So,
Yeah, man.
but good question,
All right,
kid. I
boys.
appreciate-
I'm done with my question. Boot me out, or I'll just leave whatever you want me to do and get the next guy in. And Coleman, great job. Keep it up, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, we got somebody else in the basement here. I'm just waiting for his video to show up.
CJ put "Who's the traitor" on the screen. Oh, by the way, if you come on here and ask a jackass question, you get banned from coming on from that point forward.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
In case somebody wants to come on and start some kind of drama, it's not going to happen more than once.
Yeah.
You'll get a jackass answer from me. So
You want to see if there's any questions in the chat? Well, we do have somebody in the basement here, but I don't think the video is on. I don't know.
So Bottlecat Barbecue asked, and I'm trying to interpret this question, were cast irons always both pans and ovens, or did one come before the other?
yeah, surprisingly, I did some research on the history of the Dutch ovens. It actually started back in Europe, and it was perfected. The Dutch oven, when it first came over to America, didn't have any legs on it, and sat directly on the ground. And they actually were around before the stoves were. But the gentleman here in the United States had actually put the lip on the top so you could put charcoal on top, and put the legs on the bottom, is a guy we probably all heard about. And he was a famous blacksmith around the 1700s, and his name was Paul Revere. But he's the one that actually put the legs and the lip on the Dutch ovens when it came over to the United
got a
States.
little horsey named Paul Revere.
Yeah, that's right. Sing it for us. Sing it for us.
I know it, but I can't remember it.
Oh, come on.
I feel like you're not going to fill in any of the two dead Beastie Boys spots.
Yeah.
The
There's
fourth
two dead-
Beastie Boy, which
two
most
dead
people
ones?
don't even know existed, died this week.
This week. Huh.
There's a fourth one that nobody really knows about from real early in there.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but Facebook
Is he
told
kind
me
of like the
about
fourth stooge?
Right.
So we have another
Jeff.
guest question here coming up in the stream. Let's add him to the stream here.
Oh, Jabin.
Jabin's got
Sorry,
a
buddy.
question for you.
By the way, the reason I'm here is your fault.
I'm sorry.
And Jabin
And I
didn't
love-
even know what he was working, what he was dealing with, because we completely flipped everything upside down.
By the way,
Yeah,
if you're in the chat and you haven't subscribed to Jabin's channel, you need to. The guy's got some great videos. And I got a question for Jabin. How the hell do you keep those trees behind you green all the time?
Well,
All winter long.
I live on an island, man. So they're just spruce they're cedar trees, so they're green,
Okay. Yeah.
green all year round. I was gonna say the same to you. It's always a treat seeing your videos and hearing that laugh and that smile. It's just, I don't know. I think everyone, if you're not subscribed to Coleman, go after the show and subscribe to him, or open another tab in your browser, subscribe to him. He's got some really, really great content out there. So I have two questions. One is a little bit lighter, and the other one is a little bit more in depth,
Okay.
I guess. And the
I
first
thought you were
one,
gonna say the second one's darker.
well, the first question is something that I'm always curious about, just because I think a lot of barbecue cooking YouTubers have to think about all the time. And so it's how do you plan or decide on cooks that you end up doing?
That's a great question. I don't just I was watching someone's show earlier and they were asked that question, how do you plan? He goes, well, I just go to the grocery store and whatever's on sale I buy. And I don't do that. I there's a lot of prep work that goes into my videos. I've been sitting here at my desk for a couple hours today writing a script for my next video. So
Okay.
I spend a couple hours writing a script. I spend at least 10 hours filming because my videos, there's a minimum of 40 different shots that go into a 15-minute video. And then I spend about 10 more hours editing those things. So I put a lot into my videos, and I hope everybody enjoys them. But I use Google Trends a lot. So I've only got 700 subscribers, 720. My goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of April. So please help. But I put out 2 videos last year, smoked turkey and a prime rib. And one of those videos hit 5,000 views and another one hit 6,000, which for some of you guys is not many. But for me, when I only had 500 subscribers and being able to hit 6,000 views on one of my videos, man, I was completely and totally floored. And it was really because I went on Google Trends and I just searched just a bunch of different things. So I searched smoked turkey or turkey on the grill.
Yeah.
I searched all the different terms, and Google Trends really helps you track what is searched more and what peak times of the year. I just released a queso video. And the reason I did my queso video now is because it is peaking right now for Super Bowl. And I noticed a lot of the other YouTubers are coming out with some queso videos. But I came out with my turkey video and my prime rib video. And it was Google Trends and seeing when the hot times were to produce certain videos is really what goes into when I plan those. And my wife really helps me out a lot with that. She'll do a lot of trend surfing for me to see what's hot and what's not. And but that's one of the things that I use.
Nice.
Good question.
Yeah, I remember seeing your prime rib one. I think I had just put one out like a couple weeks prior to that, and I saw yours and was like, oh my goodness, I want to trade. That thing looks so good.
Hey, do I have time to tell a story about that prime rib video?
Oh yeah.
So I have a meat sponsor that gives me a discount. I don't get the meat for free, but it gives me a discount. So I went down and picked out my prime rib, and Blue Bonnet Meat Company is who I use here in North Texas. They don't ship nationally, so unless you're local, you can't buy from them. So it was $120 for this prime rib. Brought it home, got it ready. I do my butter herb rub on the outside of it. I dry brined it for 48 hours ahead of time. Put my butter on it, had it sitting out in the outdoor kitchen, walked inside to get something, and I get outside, and my Mastiff had grabbed it and run off with it. Run off with it.
Oh, that's
I got a big
terrible.
property. I had to go down and buy another one. So
Oh,
that
no
video,
way.
that video cost me almost $250 to make just in frickin' meat, because I had to go buy another prime rib so I could finish that stinking video.
Man. Hey, and Jabin, you lucked out. While you're on here, we got a super chat. You know what that means? Jabin, are you a drinker?
Yeah,
No.
I have this
That'll work.
sparkling lime water.
So, Rob, a note for the future: we need to scroll on the bottom what the super chat price is, but because
yeah.
we're a hospital, I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah.
You can drink for me, hobo.
I'll drink twice for Jabin.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the brunt.
Thank you,
Okay,
Tom.
my next question before you kick me off is, being a newer YouTuber, what have you? Sorry, this is a double question, kind of. Being a newer YouTuber, what have you enjoyed most, and what have you learned about yourself? And so, kind of the angle, I guess, is that being in front of the camera, and putting yourself out into the world can be a really challenging thing.
Right.
Both physically with the amount of time, and mentally, just you're in online. Everyone can see you in the world if they want to. So what have you enjoyed most about this journey in the past 8 months, and what have you learned about yourself?
Good question. So up until probably September, October of last year, I was frustrated, man. I was not having fun anymore. I was not enjoying filming the videos. I didn't see any growth in my channel, and I was frustrated. I was, I had hooked up with Think Media, and they were kind of helping me there. And then some guy sent me an email that says, "Hey, are you part of any barbecue community?" And I'm thinking, what do you mean barbecue community? What the heck is that? And sorry, Keith, I said community. Family.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, what is that?
Sorry.
It's a family.
And he said, "Are you part of any barbecue community?" I said, "Yeah, I'm on a couple Facebook pages, but no, I'm not." And he says, "Well, you ought to come over and check out this show. Just check it out and get hooked up with some other guys that are kind of doing the same thing you are." And Jamin, that guy was you. I don't know if you remember sending me that email or sending me that message.
I do.
Yeah. So, and this has really relit my fire on wanting to make videos. Man, I was on Keith's the other night. I get on Mike's, the dude's show. I was jumping on Rob's. I'm really enjoying this. And my wife, she'll come in my man cave and she'll see me watching another one. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just marketing. I'm marketing, honey." So that's my excuse now for watching all these, is I'm just marketing. But
Nice.
that's really the thing that I enjoy the most. And also, on my Facebook page, I have a Grillin and Chillin with Friends page where folks can get on there and ask questions and get help. And a lot of the folks on my page are the guys that came over from other pages that just got berated. I signed up for a Facebook page, and I actually put a post about this on my Facebook, where I posted on there, and I posted a picture of my logo. And if you haven't seen my logo, I'm wearing Crocs and I got gloves on. And within the first 2 hours of posting my logo and say, "Hey, I'm new to the page, glad to be here," I got berated and insulted. 200 comments, people insulting me about wearing gloves and wearing Crocs. It got so bad that I didn't respond to a single one of them. They eventually kicked me off of the page. There was like 100,000 people on this page. They eventually kicked me off the page. And I was thinking, I don't ever want something like that to happen on Grillin and Chillin with Friends. I want someone to be able to come on and ask a question. And that's another part that I enjoy, is people just reaching out and saying, "Hey, I've never done this before. What do I do?" And I'm sure there's some guys in the chat that have been on the page that have watched my videos and cooked these things for the first time and then send me pictures and emails saying, "Man, my wife said it was the best thing I've ever cooked." And that's what feels good to me.
Yeah.
So that's really been the best part. Sorry to ramble on, but that's really been the best thing for me when it comes to doing this YouTube stuff. And honestly, I don't remember what the other half of your question was, Jamin.
You answered it all. That's
Okay.
good stuff, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's really what this is all about.
Coleman, I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're an inspiration to me, Jamin. I
Yeah,
love
really
watching your
appreciate
videos.
what you're doing. Likewise. And the
I
rest
want to
of
be
you guys
big
on
like
here
you
too.
someday.
I want to be big like someone else someday. I always want to be like someone else.
So, Jamin, real quick, it looks like you got some boxes behind you. Is this shipping of the rub or what?
No, that's like, I'm working on my kitchen. So it's like cabinets. There's some rubs back there too. But yeah, my kitchen, there's been a big mix-up, or not mix-up, but like, yeah, just a big gong show with them sending me cabinets that are chipped and things like that. So it's been a year and a half or longer of like trying to work out warranty stuff. So it's just But yeah, there's some rubs back there too.
You want to?
That's actually how I met Jamin, is I bought some of his rubs.
You want to pimp the new website?
Yeah, the website for my rubs.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not used to doing shameless plugs. Yeah, I just launched the new website. The rubs have been around for quite a while, but ordering online has just gone live. To simplify everything, it's www.postalbarbecue. That's the full word, BARBECUE, postalbarbecue.com. So postalbarbecue.com. And if you are ordering from the States, you can get like 27% off just because I'm from Canada. And with after exchange rates, it's literally like 27% off for anyone from the States. It's pretty awesome. So
That's pretty cool. All right, Dave, I appreciate you hopping in, man.
All right.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, Rob, before you bring the next person up, let me get caught up on the chat here.
Yeah.
Kent had his time on the show and then had more questions, apparently.
Oh, really?
What's Coleman's favorite dish to cook in the kitchen?
In the kitchen or in the outdoor kitchen? I don't. My wife and I have an agreement. I don't mess up her kitchen, and she doesn't mess up mine. So she cooks in the house, and I cook outside. But what I love to cook outside, and wings and ribs are probably my two favorite things on the grill. So I enjoy doing those.
All right, so now I understand why fucking Kent missed a lot of questions, because I had it pinned up here waiting. And then I started scrolling, like I just rolled it one time and it went all the way to the fucking bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back to the beginning. Give me 1 second here. I know there was another question in here. You can watch Rob Beastie Boy dance there.
Yeah, I got to entertain him somehow.
Oh, here it is. Brisket Medic wanted to know, does Coleman have a ugly drum smoker, and what would be his only cooker to use if he had to choose just one?
I don't have a drum smoker. The smokers I have is I have a 22-inch kettle, a 26-inch kettle, my Kamado Joe Big Joe, and my gas grill. And if I only had one smoker to use, I know everybody says the Weber kettle, but I'm going to stick with my Kamado Joe. I love my Kamado Joe. It is the best grill I have ever owned, and I'm not sponsored by them. I'd like to be. So Kamado Joe, if you're listening, I'd love one of the new Big Joe 3s, but oh well.
I'm sure they are listening.
Yeah.
My buddy Jim, Suburban Barbecue, and I know Coleman's going to give you an obtuse answer here, but where in Texas is Coleman?
Texas is a big state. I don't live in a town. I live out in the country. Nearest town is 6-7 miles away, but I'm about an hour north of Dallas, about 45 minutes north of McKinney, kind of out the northeast of the Dallas area. I'm closer to Oklahoma than I am to Texas.
And you said you're a Cowboys fan too, didn't you?
Yeah, I am. I told the story why I was a Cowboys fan last night on my live. I don't know if you want to hear it, but
yeah, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody cares about the Cowboys.
Go Cowboys! See, this is the problem though. Is when I was single for 5 years, and I told God, I said, if you ever want me to get married again, here's the list. It was an impossible list. There's no way that it could happen, and I forgot to put on there that they were a Cowboys fan. So God gave me a frickin' Patriots fan, and she's even more of a Tom Brady fan. So I got to put up with. And she is a huge football fan. She's a bigger football fan than I am. I watch the Cowboys. She watches my buddies will call the house and ask her for advice on fantasy football. They don't call me and ask me. They call and ask my wife about fantasy football recommendations.
Hey, can you buy their Super Bowl appearances on DVD yet, or is that still just on VHS?
Yeah. Hold on. Shall I show the picture again? Anybody know who that is with me?
Oh, that's right. That was T. Roy and Camp House.
So when you showed that picture last night, I thought the person on the left was Troy Aikman.
Oh, you did?
You did. It's hard to see on a webcam.
Yeah, these are actually pictures for us old guys. These are actually photos that we used to take with a camera.
Yeah, how'd you get that off your phone?
I printed it right back here. Yeah,
that's a great drawing.
So, yeah, Mr. Bob Lilly was one of my heroes as a kid. He was an assistant scoutmaster in my Boy Scout troop. So that's why I'm a Cowboys fan, is because Mr. Lilly was my hero.
So Rob, I have a few more questions in the chat, but before I wanted to ask Coleman real quick because he didn't answer it last night.
Yep.
So you started dating your son's teacher. Did he get really good grades at the end of that year?
Oh, yeah.
we talked about it years later, and he assumed he would get better grades, but the sad part is my wife is meaner than me. So this is both my boys are 150 plus IQ, which means they get bored real easy in school and they just cause a lot of trouble. So I knew the principals really well. My kids are the ones that used to pull the fire alarms and tell everybody that there was no Santa. That was my kids. And so I went to the principal one day. My son was going to start 6th grade, and I knew the principal by first name because I was in there all the time. And I said, Jeannie, I need the meanest, strictest teacher that you have for my son for next year. Who's it going to be? He says, I got the perfect one for you. And so she introduced me to my wife, and that was in May. My son started in her class in August. We started dating in December. My wife got her master's degree the next May, and I proposed to her then, and then we got married 14 months later. So, but no, he didn't get better grades because he was in her class because she's meaner than me.
Well, hey, why don't we save some of the chat questions? We got somebody in the basement here for a little while.
Okay.
All right, person in the basement, are you ready to come up into the family room? What are we calling it?
I feel like family room will make Keith happy.
Yeah. All right. Well, come on up.
Write that term down. Maybe get it tattooed on Bobby's arm.
Yeah, right. We got Darnell. Must have a question.
Darnell has watched every single one of my videos and commented on them. Thank you very much, Darnell.
Nice.
I appreciate
No problem. No problem. I try to spread the love, guys, all the way around. I really do try. So I usually text that in the chat. Hey, I try to watch all you guys' videos. I really do try. I'm not bored. I'm just at home, supposed to be teleworking, but
You got a question for Coleman?
I do. So, you brought up pastoring earlier. Do you still pastor? And if not, why did you stop?
A good question. I was a children's pastor for many years. I'm still ordained. When I went through my first divorce, I actually retired from the ministry, and at that point I decided to start a Boy Scout troop. Because a lot of the kids I wanted to mentor and help were single parent kids, kind of like I was, how I grew up. I didn't grow up with a dad, so my role model was the men in my life that showed me how it was to be a real man. And so that was my goal, and that's what I wanted to do. So I started a Boy Scout troop, and I surrounded myself with other men who had the same passion for helping young men become good citizens. So that became my ministry for almost 20 years. And recently I relocated to Texas from New Mexico, where I spent a lot of my life. And before I left there, I got involved with a group called Trail Life, which is it's what Boy Scouts used to be. No politics, but when the Boy Scouts made all the changes they did, I decided to separate myself from Scouts and join up with Trail Life. And because I travel so much now with my job, I don't have as much time to devote to that. But my passion is still for young men and helping them become just great citizens and become great dads and great husbands someday. So am I in the ministry paid? No, but I think as a Christian, I think we all are, really. So.
Nice. Good answer.
I got a second question.
Did you have something for your second question?
And I'm out. Yeah. So I came up as a Cub Scout.
Okay.
And then recently you see all these like class action lawsuits against the Boy Scouts and stuff like that. I didn't experience anything like that coming up in my Cub Scout troop. But what's your opinion about that stuff that's going on now?
I think there's good people everywhere and bad people everywhere. And, luckily I was protected and that didn't happen to me in Scouts. And I had some great Scout leaders, and I made it a point to never, we had a rule in our Scouts that it was too deep leadership all the time. You were never alone with a Scout for any reason. And so we made sure that never happened in our troop. And it was my job to protect those boys. So does it happen? I think it happens everywhere. It's sad. I mean, that's the world today. but I don't think it's exclusive to Scouts. But sadly, it does happen. But I think it happens in every organization.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got, guys. Keep up the good work.
Darnell, good
Darnell,
to finally meet
thanks for
you.
joining, man. We'll see you later, man.
All right, so everybody's favorite uncle, Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve. I haven't met him yet.
I saw Uncle Steve there in the chat.
Well, you need to convince Uncle Steve to hop in the chat.
Yeah,
Or hop
maybe
in the thing.
maybe he's got a question.
Well, he does, and I'm sure he's going to have another one. But he asked, "What is Coleman's favorite thing to cook?"
I think someone asked me that already. Great question. My favorite thing to cook is wings and ribs are my two favorite things to grill. Now, when it comes to cast iron, there's other things I like to grill, but on the grill is wings and ribs are my two favorite things. I could eat those things all day long. But my favorite food, if anyone was on my live chat last night, my favorite food is actually not barbecue. My favorite food is, and my wife and I are both the same. We love sushi, and the rawer the better. So that doesn't take any cooking at all. But we love sushi.
That's tough to make on your Kamado.
It is.
Yeah. I guess you just put it out there on a nice hot day and let the sun warm it up.
There we go. But Steve, thank you very much. So I don't know if it was you that were involved in sending me, but someone sent me eight of the Uncle Steve Shake assortment packs, and I've been using that, and I really like it. I've been a Meat Church fan for so many years, but it's good to try something new, and I'm going to use your stuff in a couple upcoming videos. So I appreciate you sending me that.
Cool.
All right, so CJ, in retaliation to Kent,
the guy that bailed on me.
And by the way, Bobby, if you're watching, that's Bobby, Rob's wife. You can't send me fucking memes for the win during the show. You've had your ass handed to you all fucking day by Hobo, and now you're just trying to be a distraction. CJ says, Hobo, if he was in a plane crash, who would he eat, you or Rob?
Yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah,
but you're stuck with it.
You know, in Scouts, I've learned survivals. I can trap, I can hunt, I could feed all three of us. And being the fat guy, I'd probably be the losing end of being eaten, because you guys could survive on me a lot longer than I could survive on you. You guys are just Scooby snacks.
All right, so Rob, you have anybody in the basement?
I do have somebody in the basement.
Well, let me get caught up here because I'm like way the fuck behind.
Yeah, if you've got some, actually, I'm gonna quick step out and grab a beer, and maybe check the front door.
All right.
You get to do that. Oh, how wonderful!
Huh? You know what that means?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check the front door here in a few minutes.
I better hurry up though, because now there's two people in the basement.
Okay,
right,
I'm ready.
You go. Tell Bobby she's wrong.
All right, and I just also want to say, real quick, everybody, there's 50 in the chat. Give it either a thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't care which one. Just do one of them. Let me know you're not a bot. Let me know you're real people in there. Also,
thumbs down the fuck out of Rob.
Yeah. Also, we're giving 10% of every super chat, super sticker, super shot to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia tonight. So do those super chats. We'll drink them up, and you're helping a good cause.
All right, you go pee. I'll grill Coleman. Then Coleman go pee, and I'll grill you or something.
Something's getting grilled.
All right. Well,
I'm fine. I'm good.
All right.
I know about All right. So Bottle Cap Barbecue says, ask him what he thinks about the difference between barbecue spelled with a C and barbecue spelled with a Q.
So I went to college to be a mechanical engineer, and when I tested my senior year, I had one of the highest level math scores in the state, and I had a 4th grade spelling level. So that's why I married an English teacher. Before I send anything out, I send it to her to spell check it. I can't. If I was going to spell barbecue right now and I'd spell it 4 times, I'd spell it 4 different ways. So I don't give a crap.
That's why I just use BBQ.
That's what I do. I could. Matter of fact, when I'm typing something in Word, it's just like everything's underlined in red, and then I have to go back and fix it all because I can't spell worth the crap. And my wife, if you're in the chat, you can give a thumbs up to agree with that. But sometimes I'll send her a text message and I'll spell a word wrong 4 different times just to piss her off, because she's an English major. Used to be an English teacher. Now she's a I won't say what she is. She still works at a high school. So, but she's an English major. Great question though.
Yes, it's Mario wants to know what you're cooking Sunday for. I'm going to say the Super Bowl because I don't give a fuck and it's on Rob's channel. But the game.
So what am I cooking for Super Bowl? I am filming a video this weekend, but it's not cooking wise. So I'm actually not going to cook anything. My wife and I have an agreement. When the Giants and the Patriots in the Super Bowl years ago and Eli Manning won, we had about 30 people at our house. And my wife, she's going to get so pissed that I told this story. She, in front of everybody, fell down on her knees when the Patriots won and started crying. And she turned around and looked at me, and she says, "I don't ever want anybody in our house for Super Bowl again." I said, "Yes, ma'am." And since then, we've never had a Super Bowl party. She watches her game upstairs, especially when the Patriots are in it, which they have been a lot lately. And I sit downstairs and I listen to the screaming and the yelling and the stomping and the carrying on. And one year, the Patriots had just won the Super Bowl. And I was downstairs watching in my man cave. And I took out my phone and I started filming. And I walked up the stairs. And I creeped up the stairs, and her landing, her lady cave, whatever you want to call it, she has a bigger TV than I do. Patriots crap everywhere. I snuck up the stairs, and I started filming her, and Patriots had just won, and she's going to get so pissed. She is on her knees crying, facing the table, facing the TV, hands up in the air. Tom Brady was talking about his mom and her cancer, and so he was crying. And my wife was looking up at the TV saying, "Tom, I'm crying with you." And I got that on video, and I've never posted it. And I think I'd probably wake up, not a man anymore if I did. But my wife is the football fan, so I'll be watching the game. But I'll probably hang out on the back deck or watch the game in my man cave. But yeah, cool. Super Bowl's not a big deal for us here. Long answer to a short question. Sorry.
Hey, Hobo. So we got 2 in the basement. Should I bring the first one up?
Let me get through at least one more question.
All right, one more question.
And I'm going to apologize for fucking up your name. Bushy Bato? Bushy Bato?
Is that a TikTok person?
Bush I Batu. Anyways, does Coleman have a simpler or purest flavor profile on his ribs or wings, or does he mess with different sauces?
For my wings, I actually have, if you watch, I've got a wing video that's out. If you want to make good crispy wings, watch that video. But I have a wing. It's kind of like a shake and bake that I make for my wings. It's half bacon powder, and the rest is some chipotle powder and some other stuff that I put in there. And I shake it in that, and then you can season it afterwards. But that's typically what I use for my wings. My ribs are simple. The rub that I really like on my ribs is Meat Church Honey Bacon Barbecue. That's what I've been using for years on my ribs. Uncle Steak, I'm gonna try your stuff coming up and try the sweet heat. I think that would be a good one to try on ribs. But that's typically what I put on my ribs is Meat Church Honey Bacon Barbecue. But when I wrap them, I put a layer of brown sugar, pads of butter, real maple syrup, and then lay my ribs in there and wrap them and then put them back on the grill for a couple hours. And man, my ribs come out amazing. I love my ribs. So good question.
While you were answering that, Kent sent me a text and phonetically spelled out Bushy Bato's channel, and I'm not sure that I probably still fucked it up. And while Rob's bringing somebody up, did you see last night when Rob came up, Coleman, when Rob came up with this reverse engineered chicken parm?
Yes, I was watching that. I was thinking, what the heck is he talking about?
So Tag says, tell Rob like Coleman for out chicken parm for our chicken parm collab.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do anything. The thing about it is when I watch Rob, he's like a natural. He gets up there, he talks, he never messes up. He doesn't look like he does a lot of edits, and I'm not to that point yet, man. There's 40 shots in my videos. It takes me a week to plan and write and get a video ready. I'm not that good yet where I can just stand up there and cook something and make a great video.
Yeah, I think I always ask people if they go off scripts or this or that, because I'm like, I don't go off a script, but I think a lot of people do use scripts.
Oh, yeah. I not only use a script, but I'm going to share one of my secrets. I use a freaking script and a teleprompter. So when I'm doing my videos, it looks like I'm looking at the camera talking to you guys. I'm reading off a freaking teleprompter. And occasionally I'll go off script, but that's usually when Kent made a comment about this today. I made a comment on one of my videos that I was like a fat ninja. And that wasn't on script, but Kent picked it up and made a comment about it.
Hey, Coleman, when you get done with this, I have a video. It's a couple years old. It's called "How Do My Nuts Taste?" Volume 1, where I smoke nuts. It's all taken in one. There's some editing, but there's nothing cut out. Like it was all done in one shot.
Okay.
I think you'll
Is it on your channel?
Yeah, you'll get a good laugh out of it.
CJ, how are you, sir?
What's going on, Coleman? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey, thanks for letting me come in real quick. I don't necessarily have a question, and the question about the plane crash, that was just a little having fun with Hobo, because that used to be a question in our group or in the whole hot seat. Some people had different ideas of what parts to eat on CJ, and that's it got pretty awkward and uncomfortable there for sure.
Hey, CJ, real quick, if you were on a deserted island and had to eat a part off of CJ, what part would you?
Me?
Yeah,
myself.
Not just pretend there's another CJ.
I'd probably go for part of the rump or
the ham. Man.
Because I'm a big boy. I'm a big strong boy. I don't want to hurt the arms to lift and help work around the desert island or deserted island or whatever you want to call it. So I think that's it. There were some real deep answers to that one when we had the hot seat and we were asking that question, but it was very awkward. But again, I don't really have any questions. I just want to say, Coleman, you're a great addition to this family, as Keith likes to say. And, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to interview on the show, but I knew you'd be in good hands with Rob and Hobo.
Definitely.
And
I think with you and I'm not a small guy either. I'm a pretty big boy.
Yeah.
And I think with you and I, we would have tilted.
Kent would have leveled it out. It would have been fine. We would have been even. That's it. I just wanted to come and say
appreciate
that. You're doing
I appreciate you
work.
thinking about me though when you asked me to be on the show. It meant a lot to me.
Yeah, it's I appreciate that too, man. But unfortunately, it just kind of was time for it to pass the torch on to these guys, and they're doing a great job so far. And
definitely,
dig what they're doing.
I haven't peed myself yet, so I'm still good.
Well, there you go. And it was odd not having to get ready, set everything up, finish work, jump on, talk to people. Like I went and got some dinner. I'm actually eating my dinner. Usually after the show, I would eat my dinner. So, 8, 9 o'clock, I was eating my dinner. So it's been a nice, relaxing Thursday evening. So I appreciate Hobo and Rob for that.
Perfect.
But thanks again, guys. And Rob, Hobo, you guys are doing good stuff. So I love everybody in the chat.
CJ, thank you for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it. You're actually my largest subscriber.
Well,
not size-wise. I mean, subscriber-wise.
I'm probably size-wise too, baby.
We're back to that airplane crash.
I think T-Roy and Justin subscribed to my channel, but they kind of hide there. So
me and Justin are, we're both big boys, and we got some good size together for sure. Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. Thank you,
CJ.
I'll be watching. It. Take care, guys.
Nice. So, El Hobo. Do you have some more questions from the chat?
Si, senor.
And if you don't, why not?
I do. Brisket Medic How would you say the barbecue family / C word that I'm not allowed to say because Keith's watching has influenced your cooks or even perspective?
You know, for years, whenever I'm starting to plan a video, I don't know if you guys do this, but I go and I'll watch 10 or 20 different videos out there, and I'll take some ideas from this one and some ideas from this one, and I'll kind of create what I think is the perfect video, which never is, but in my mind it is. And I feel a lot less guilty now that I'm part of the group for going out there and stealing ideas from everybody, because now I know you guys. So, but I can also pay that forward. I love going on everybody's channels and watching their videos and commenting and sharing. My Grillin and Chillin with Friends page, I don't let anybody post on that page. The only two people I allow to post on that page are CJ and Jabin. But once this is over, they can't do that anymore. No, just kidding. They can still post on there. But man, I never would imagine that I would meet a lot of great guys except for Hobo in this family. I know. Sorry. So it's been great for me. I'm really enjoying it. Love the chats. Love meeting everybody. Getting to know guys that I would have never had the opportunity to meet, and I think you guys are all also so giving, and I think that's what we all need to keep in mind. Is there's a lot of new guys out there like me who are just starting out, have no idea what we're doing, and it's not like we're competing against each other. It's high tide raises all boats. So the better we all get, the more we stick together and share ideas and grow the community, the better we're all going to be. And that's that really needs to be the goal. It's not that I want to get more than Rob or I want to get more than CJ. It's not about that. It's let's all help each other grow and support each other and share each other and go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love whenever somebody's live. Like I'll be, my new favorite text person is Hobo. So, I'm like, finished work. It's like the evening time. I'm like, Hobo, why isn't anybody live? Hey, where should we go? Who's live now? Do you know anybody? Do you know who's going live? And then just hanging out on the lives and talking to people and checking out different channels. I mean, I'll look through YouTube all the time and just, search barbecue. And then you can take that little filter down and click the live button. Mm-hmm. The filter, and it'll show you any barbecue people who are live, and then you get to see some new people, find some new stuff. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And a lot of times you guys will put the link out there for, hey, if you want to jump in on live real quick with us, hit the StreamYard link. Heck, by that time I'm sitting naked in my recliner, with Cheetos on my chest, and like, I better not.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
right.
Last night you said Hobo goes off the rails. At no point have I ever said I was sitting naked with Cheetos.
You've never lived till you had Cheetos stuck in your chest hair. And
So real quick,
hey, welcome to Life of a Fat Guy.
You got
Rob, a lot of questions, but I need to make a note of what Suburban Barbecue said. A lot of ass eaters around here.
We prefer to call that ham.
I don't know if you have anybody in the basement.
I do.
If you do, bring them up. If you got any more questions, put them in the chat or get in the basement. Rob will drop the link to the basement here.
Now, the basement is currently empty. So if anybody wants to hit that link, I'll put it in the chat if you want to come live. And
Powers Barbecue, how are you, sir? I've been watching your videos as well.
How's it going, Mike?
Earlier you said you comment on the videos you watch. Apparently you're not watching my videos.
I subscribe to your channel.
I was giving you a hard time. No, the only question I had you actually answer while I was waiting is your favorite meat church rub. Is it the honey barbecue?
The honey bacon barbecue is probably my favorite. But man, they've got. Sorry, Steve. I know you're a big supporter of this teammate. And their voodoo's really good. Their holy cow is really good. I mean, I really like the meat church stuff. But the honey hot and the honey bacon barbecue are probably my two favorites.
All right, excellent. So another question I had is you said you played college football. Where'd you play at?
New Mexico State.
Okay.
Yeah. I got it. So my senior year in high school, we took state my senior year. So my whole 4 years of high school football was nothing but winning. I mean, we took state 2 out of the 4 years, and second in state the other 2 years. And I decided to get my degree in mechanical engineering. So I had a choice. I had 2 full scholarships, one to TCU and one to New Mexico State. New Mexico State's an engineering school. So I chose New Mexico State to play football. My entire college career, we never won a game. Never, not one. It was awful. So I don't brag about who I played for in college. I did play, and I enjoyed it, but it was a tough time. What's that?
It's very cool that you played, though.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I played defensive tackle. That was my goal. My goal in life was to become a defensive tackle for the Cowboys, and then I was in a car accident right after my sophomore year, and lost my. I had an ROTC scholarship and a football scholarship. Lost both of them, and anyway, God turned my life around and had me doing something different. So I'm good with it.
Pretty cool. And then lastly, I want to go fishing. I live close to you.
There you go.
You're catching 10 bass a day. That sounds like a good time to me.
Tell you what, any YouTuber that wants to go fishing, you send me an email, and you come on out. I've got the boats, I got the poles, I got all you need to do is bring some extra beer, and we'll do some fishing. So
and a camera.
Are you in the Dallas area?
Yeah, I'm down in Allen.
Oh, okay. I'm not. I'm about 45 minutes north of McKinney, so I'm not.
We've
I'm
talked
not far
about
from
that
you.
before offline.
Yeah. You're down by Justin. He's down there.
Yeah, we're actually kind of neighbors.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know he was local till I ran into him at the grocery store, so it was kind of a funny thing.
Yeah,
So
I kind of pissed off Justin.
Hey, Bowers, explain that interaction. Because I'm assuming you were like, oh, my God, it's Justin Babyback Maniac.
I had literally found his channel a week prior. I'd maybe seen 2 videos, and I saw him at the checkout line. It's like, I know that guy from somewhere. I went and checked out the meat department. I came back, it's like, that guy's from YouTube. Yeah. So I went up to him, and nice as could be, and we chatted for about 15 minutes. And yeah, super nice guy. I didn't realize how big he was until afterwards. I was really watching his channel and saw what kind of subscribers he has. That guy's
I watched T-Roy for quite a while. I learned a lot from him. And then one day, this funny looking guy was on there with T-Roy, and they were talking about how a young channel can build up their channel and build relationships with other YouTubers. And Justin said, he goes, one of the things you need to do is you need to go and watch their videos and comment on every single one of them. So find you a YouTuber that's big that you want to be like, go watch all their videos and comment on all their videos. So you know what? I said, Justin, we're going to see if this works. I went to the first video Justin ever made, and I watched every single one of his videos and commented on every single one of them. And he finally got so sick of me commenting on his videos that he finally replied to me. And so we're not buddies or friends now, but we have talked a few times, and he's got me set up with SNS grills and that kind of stuff. So, but great guy. I'd love to meet him someday. I got a lot of respect for him and T-Roy both.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Hey,
Good
Mike.
to meet you.
No worries. Thanks. Cool. You got some more questions from the chat, Mr.
My load is empty.
What?
It's empty. There's nothing.
What's everybody doing in there then?
Just calling each other shitheads and stuff.
It'd be a good time for me to have another video clip, but I don't have one in this situation.
You don't. Hey, sometimes things end when they end.
Yeah.
You've been an hour and a half. That's a good time.
Well,
Yeah.
I looked down at the time, and I'm surprised that we've been on an hour and a half. I guess I talked too damn much.
Doesn't
No,
seem like it, right? But yeah, I had a great time tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate this.
Anybody got any questions? Yeah, feel free to put them in the chat real quick. As you know, if we see them, we'll ask them real quick.
So,
But,
the key to the hot seat is your job is to talk. Me and Rob's job is not let you turn into an asshole. Whether that means
you didn't do a very good job of that.
we can only work with what we can.
Yeah,
when I
right.
got my haircut today, and a guy goes, "How's it look?" I go, "You did the best you could with the canvas you had."
That's right. That's right. It'll grow back. Hey, if I could say something real quick, I would love to do some sticker exchanges with people. So if you want one of my stickers, send me an email, Coleman at grillinandchillinwithcoleman.com. Send me an email. I'll stick one. I've sent out about 100 of them already, but I'd love to have yours to put up in the outdoor kitchen, and nice. I'd love to send you one of mine. So if you want to send me an email, I'll send you one out. Whether you got them or not, I don't care if you've got stickers or not. But if you want one, I'll send you one.
All right. So now that we put the screws to it, everybody's asking questions. So this is
good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep going a little while. Yeah.
This is what we're going to call the quick fire.
Quick fire. So in other words, keep your answers short, Coleman.
No, I don't. I'm on for a day. I give zero shits. I don't go to bed till 6 a.m.
Yeah, I have to work until 9 tomorrow morning. So
Rob's problem is he hangs out with me, and then he has to fucking deal with tomorrow.
Oh man!
When I got up this morning and saw you guys had a live last night, I don't know what time you guys ended.
Was it 3 or 4?
God, I was watching. I was like, don't those guys ever sleep?
3:30. All right. Before this gets too out of hand.
Okay.
Daddy Dutch wants to know if Coleman has a secret crush. Who is it?
A secret crush on who? I mean, other than my wife?
Well, see, I feel like Ken's just setting you up to fail with this question.
He is. Right? Yeah.
I'm going to ask it because it's fun for me to watch you squirm.
Let me tell you this. There's a celebrity cook that I'd love to cook with, but he's dead. And I love watching his stuff on PBS, and I love watching his stuff on YouTube. But it's Justin Wilson, the old Cajun guy.
Yeah,
I love watching his stuff. He is hilarious. And if I had an opportunity to cook with him one day, I'd love to cook with him. So if I had a celebrity cuss, I guess he's that. I got a thing for old men in plaid with red suspenders, I guess.
Ken's buddy in the same state wants Madwood Barbecue wants to know what is something he won't cook.
What is something I won't cook?
Yeah,
yes.
I hate onions.
All right.
I hate onions. I use them in my cooks if I can cook them, but when it comes to raw onions and raw tomatoes, I don't have anything to do with them. I can't stand them.
All right. Yes, it's Mario wants to know least favorite thing to cook.
Least favorite thing to cook, brisket. It takes 12 hours to do, and it's okay, but I think there's better stuff out there. So I guess brisket is probably my least favorite. People have been asking me to do a brisket video, and I just haven't done one yet, and I need to do one, but I'm not excited about doing one. There's just so many other things I'd rather cook than brisket. Sorry, I'm from Texas. We're not allowed to say that, but
yeah. Yeah, I think you got people probably headed towards your house right now.
Yeah.
All right, where we at? Everett Barbecue, favorite thing to cook on cast iron that's not steak?
Green chili chicken enchiladas is probably my favorite thing to do in a Dutch oven. I use New Mexico hatch green chili and put it in a Dutch oven and put coals on top and on the bottom, and it's just an amazing meal. Next thing is probably a pineapple upside down cake. I love doing those. I got to tell you a story about cast iron real quick. I got a lot of stories.
All right, we'll make it a long story so Hobo can go.
Why do you guys get to go and I'm the old fat guy here?
I'll tell you what. I got to go. The Amazon guy's beating on my door.
Sure, yeah.
And I also have to go pee.
Okay.
But after that, if you need to go pee, me and Rob can bullshit and maybe we can do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Fair enough. So, my wife and I were already married, but I love to go camping. She used to go on all of our Boy Scout camping trips with us.
Yeah.
And on one of our campouts, I decided to make a peach cobbler for the boys. And I made a peach cobbler, and I'd never made one before for my wife while we were dating or after we were married. And after I made the peach cobbler, she came to me and she looked me in the eyes and she goes, if for this peach cobbler, I would marry you all over again. And that is like love to a fat guy is that we can cook things that'll make you fall in love with us again. So, but I love cooking on cast iron. Matter of fact, a lot of the cast iron that I have now belong to my nanny. I inherited a lot of her stuff. So a lot of the old Griswold stuff that I have belong to her. I have her old Dutch oven that from the 1800s that she used to cook on in the wood burning stove. It's put away. I don't ever use it, but
Okay.
I cherish things like that. So
Nice. It looks like Darnell had a question in the chat. What kind of vehicle does Coleman drive?
Great question. I'm a car guy. Before I'm in the industry that I'm in now. I worked for Mac Tools, for Napa Auto Parts, for Chrysler. I was a car guy for many years. I've got a big shop with a lift in it that I restore old cars. But my wife and I own 4 Jeeps. She drives a JK. For the you Jeep guys know what that is. I drive an LJ for you Jeep guys that know what that is. It's a 2-door extended Wrangler. My wife has a Grand Cherokee, and then I have a '68 Jeepster Commando that I'm building, putting a Chevy 350 in it with a 700 R4 and R4 Dana 44 axles front and rear, and boxed into. My wife and I've got some pictures on my Facebook page. My wife and I are out there using the plasma cutter and the welder, boxing in the frame. So yeah. I'm a Jeep guy. My daily driver is a 2004 Jeep Unlimited, 2-door Jeep Unlimited. So if you're a Jeep guy, you know what that is and how rare they are. But I'm a Jeep guy.
Nice.
So,
yeah. Rob, did you get me caught up on the chat? Is that what I'm catching up on?
Yeah, I asked Darnell's question about what kind of vehicle he drives. I think we have a wide receiver question. Who's the greatest Cowboys wide receiver ever?
Michael Irving. I mean, that was during the heyday. Irvin, Aikman, and Emmett.
I might have heard of him, I think.
Yeah, maybe heard.
So Coleman, do you have a delivery you need to take care of real quick?
Yeah, I do. Thank you. I'm not wearing pants, so everybody close your eyes.
I guess we just got to start putting like Home Depot buckets underneath our desks. Right? Wasn't that the old Kent trick?
That's why I used to ask that one question when I originally had the hot seat. One channel you watch big, one channel you watch small, and one channel you think should be bigger.
Yep, bye.
I had just enough time to, because when I used to do on the Google Hangouts, whoever was talking, it would automatically, it's kind of like Zoom, it would put them full screen.
Yeah.
So I'd run over and go pee real quick and hopefully get back before they stop yapping.
Oops, did I wreck that? Did I wreck that link I just put? No, I didn't.
So do we have a guest for next week, or are we still?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring up. All right, so we're still rolling along here. We got 43 people in the chat. Let us know you're in the chat. Give us thumbs ups, thumbs downs. I don't care. Whatever. Let us know you're a real person. Also, 10%. There it is.
What just happened?
10% of all the super chats are going right to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. If you guys have a charity that you guys want us to donate to next week, let us know.
Trail Life.
Next week, we do have a new guest. It's going to be Cooking with the Crazy Pop, Butch. He's a great guy. I'll put the word out probably this weekend. So keep an eye out for that. Go to bbqhotseat.com and you'll be able to check out all those links and start getting ready for that.
And anybody in the chat that can find this like some weird abstract charity, I think we'll add to the fund. I can't remember the one I brought up last night, but it was something. It gave bras to homeless women. It's a great fucking charity. It's got a great name, but I feel like it would be more fun if the super shots were given to some obtuse charity, but it's got to be legit though.
Yeah. I think the next question, I don't know why I'm doing her job.
This is literally why Kent used to pen flip.
Yeah.
Now I know how he felt. Rob, you host, I'll co-host. Just shut the fuck up. Cilantro, yes or no?
That must come from Mike. Is that from Mike?
It's from Kent.
Okay. Every time I go on Mike's the dude's kitchen and grill or Okay, sorry if I don't get your name right, but he's got a great show he does on Wednesday nights. He asks about cilantro, and I always post a hashtag in there, hashtag cilantro sucks. I hate cilantro. I'm one of that 5% of people that think it tastes like soap. I don't like it. I don't eat it. I don't put it on anything. And luckily, my wife doesn't like it either, so I don't have to worry about it. So,
All right, so
cilantro sucks.
some channel I've never heard of called Bobby Joe Kennedy asked, "What is your wife's favorite thing you cook?"
One of the things that she asks me for all the time on the grill, that is, let's not get personal.
On the grill?
Yeah, she likes pulled pork. So typically, what I'll do is on my Big Joe, I can put 4 10-pound pork butts on there, and I'll smoke those, and then pull them apart. And then we vacuum seal them and stick them in the freezer, and then we'll use them over the course of the next couple months. So she, hey, we got a super chat. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
It's from your wife. Does that count?
I don't know. It's weird. It's like a snake eating its own
Like
tail.
taking money out of your wallet to give it back to you. No, but she likes pulled pork. That's what she likes to make. Plus, another thing she likes is I do a fireball pineapple on the rotisserie. She likes that too. So,
So since Bobby just made me drink, Coleman, I have a question from.
That's not the reason you drink, hobo.
Right. Well, actually, she's starting to become the reason I drink,
Yeah.
and I'm not even married to her. But I want your personal opinion as being a guy who's happily married.
Okay.
Or at least that's the way you and Rob portray it. You're both happily married. Do you think it would be a good segment in the hot seat to have, I don't know, somebody like Bobby Joe Kennedy have 5 minutes with Bobby where she comes in and asks the questions about if the person has a wife or a girlfriend, like their thoughts on their YouTube habits, their cooking, their making videos, etc. Just yes or no is a simple answer.
I think it'd be a great segment.
All right, so we're 100% yes, Bobby Joe Kennedy.
Yeah.
So my wife, when I started my YouTube channel, of course, everything has got to have a story. I told her I was going to start filming and being in the videos, so my first test video I was in the kitchen filming, doing some kind of rib. It was terrible. It was awful. And off in the background, you see my wife walk from out from the hallway into the living room, topless. And I was planning on sending this footage to my son so he could edit it for me, and so that kind of put the kibosh on that. But anybody watched the show Tool Time with Tim Allen years ago? My wife said she will be the Wilson. She'll be the guy over the fence that I talk to that you never see. So sometimes in my videos, I'll talk to my wife. I'll say something to my wife, but you'll never see her on camera. She has no desire whatsoever to be in front of the camera.
Nice.
Right,
She's my Wilson.
So Kent wants to know if you're secretly an Eagles fan.
I bet. He probably is.
I don't think he means the band.
Yeah. Hotel. Were they on drugs too? Secretly an Eagles fan. I think everybody is secretly an Eagles fan because nobody would say they're an Eagles fan out in public.
We're the latest people to beat Tom Brady, aren't we? So in the Super Bowl.
All right, Darnell wants to know must-have toppings on a pizza.
So I have a pizza oven in my outdoor kitchen, and we love making pizzas. I have an Uni Pro. If you don't have one, you got to get one. It runs on pellets. It's a great pizza oven. But if I'm going out to order pizza, you just stick every meat you can find on it and jalapenos. And our local joint has a pizza called the Whole Hog. It's got pulled pork and bacon and ham and sausage, and then I have them throw jalapenos on there. So I'm not a big veggie person. I like olives, I guess, on a pizza, but just stick all the meats on there and then add jalapenos, and I'm good with that.
All right, Leprechaun TV wants to know favorite muscle car.
For years before I got into Jeeps, I had a business where I restored Mustangs. So I restored everything from the 64.5s up to after 1970, 71 on. Those aren't real Mustangs anymore. But so I restored those. So I had a lot of Mustangs restored those, built those. So my favorite muscle cars probably got to be the 70 Mach 1 or the Boss 429, either one of those. Good question.
Darnell wants to know if you've ever cooked in a restaurant.
I have not. My grandparents used to own a restaurant called the Curly Q in Arizona. And I remember as a kid, Grandpa would be cooking hamburgers. It was a little hamburger drive-up joint. And he'd be standing there cooking hamburgers and eating raw hamburger. And I used to look at him and think, that man is not only drunk, but he's crazy. So, but no, I've never cooked in a restaurant, and have no desire to. I never worked in food service whatsoever. Now, my youngest son loves it. I mean, he works at a gourmet pizza joint out in New Mexico, and been with him, been doing that for years, and he's an excellent cook.
All right. Yes, it's Mario says sauce or no sauce on ribs. If yes, what's his fave?
I was actually happy. I was watching a lot of Rob's videos today, and every barbecue sauce that he I out and used was my favorite out of the bottle, and that's Sweet Baby Ray's. I love that stuff. If I put sauce on my ribs or anything else, it's usually Sweet Baby Ray's. I got a bunch of other ones in the cabinet, but that's my go-to.
Yeah, I'll use that, or I'll use there's a local butcher around here that they have their own barbecue sauce. So I'll use that sometimes too.
Yeah. Well, we have a barbecue restaurant that's about 30 minutes from us.
Okay.
And it's called Whole Hog Barbecue, and he has a hot barbecue sauce that I really like, and I buy it by the quart, and then I bring it back home. But
is that like a local owned?
It's a local joint. He's a competition griller, but he's got a restaurant, and cool. He's got some really good barbecue. But as a griller, it's really hard to eat barbecue out anymore.
Yeah.
Because we can always do it better, and so. But I do enjoy his stuff. He follows me on YouTube, and he's on my Facebook channel. But when it comes to eating barbecue out, it's his. I love his sauce. It got some great stuff. His ribs are amazing.
Cool.
So, but Sweet Baby Ray's is my over the counter favorite.
Well, we got about probably 12 minutes left. We'll probably cut it out at about 11 Eastern here.
At this point, the way my scroll wheel looks, I might get that far.
Yeah.
Ken says boxers, briefs, or commando.
Oh, it's funny you asked that because I just had this conversation with a buddy of mine at work. Has anybody ever heard of Duluth Trading Post?
Yeah, we got one here in Kitten.
Yeah. If you've never worn their buck naked underwear, you're missing out. And if you're a fat guy and you don't wear their buck naked underwear, so that's what I wear. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I can show them to you if you like. I think they're camo today, snow camo, white with a brown stain in them.
Hey, Duluth, go to www.barbecuehotseat and you can become a sponsor of the show.
That's right. That's right.
They've already asked, and I was like, I don't know. I'm more of a
I don't know. Yeah, maybe after Coleman.
Colin, I'm only doing this to make a point. And it's not a bad point. He's asking me about something on my channel. The hot seat's about the guy in the bottom. And I know me and Colin are friends, but like me and Rob, we're not here to answer questions. We're here to like pimp whoever's down here.
Pimp. Are you my pimp?
Yep.
Hate this.
They don't call me Big Sexy for nothing. Okay.
All right. So Tom's Food Factory says since he doesn't like onions, tomatoes, and cilantro, does he hate pineapple on pizza?
I love pineapple on pizza. Yes. I'm sorry. Does that make me not an American? But I do like on some pizza. The Hawaiian style pizza I like, but I love pineapple. So
Keith says, great idea, Hobo. I don't know what that's in conjunction to because I fucking scrolled. Mrs. Kennedy, Rob's wife, gave me a whatever the fuck this emoticon is, so I think she's in for 5 minutes with Bobby. I'm taking that as a sold.
Done. Sign her up. Press hard. 3 copies.
Favorite charcoal brand? Yes, it's Mario.
I honestly, I don't have one. It's whatever's on sale. I use lump in my Kamado Joe and briquettes in my Weber kettle. really, I haven't really noticed a big. Now, if someone wants to sponsor me and pay for my charcoal, Fogo, if you're out there, I'll take a free bag every week. But I don't really have one. I use whatever I can find, whatever I can use. Kingsford, I don't care.
The
It
channel
all works for me.
The channel that I butchered 422 times earlier that said I got it right the first time and I don't remember puts Puff Puff Pass. I'm smoking a goddamn Marlboro cigarette. These two are vaping, so
I quit smoking 5 years ago, and I was smoking a pack and a half a day. And I'm sorry if this offends you, but this has been the best thing for me. It has been so great for my health since I quit smoking.
Darnell asked, what keeps you motivated to keep cooking and doing videos despite the negative comments from people?
What keeps me motivated? One day my daughter sent me a video of I've got 3 kids. I mentioned them earlier, but I also have 2 grandkids. And they live in Columbia, South Carolina. And even though my daughter is a vegan, she watches all my videos and comments on them, and I was picking on her yesterday in my live. But what motivates me is she sent me a video of my grandkids sitting in the living room watching Grampy on one of my videos, and that is what motivates me is seeing my grandkids enjoying watching Grampy on TV, because I can't see them all the time. So that warms my heart. That's what I love to see.
So, Rob, I have an idea.
Uh-oh.
And it's probably not going to go over well in the chat with one person. But you know what would be the greatest way to end every hot seat from
How's
here
that?
on out? If Bobby busted through those doors, came in, hugged you over the shoulders, and said, thanks for watching. And I know she's watching, so if this happens...
Yeah, if that happens in 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there so she can
start preparing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tell her to take a couple shots to make it easier.
but she just typed "stop in hobo." Like that's going to take a road trip. You just have to go through another room, Bobby.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to hop into the chat or hop into the StreamYard link that Rob's going to drop again,
Oh, yep.
you got free reign because we're all out of shit.
Yeah.
At
this point, we'll just bring whoever on, as many on.
It's like a huge family room full of people.
Family.
It's something.
Capital.
Yeah.
Capital F.
Family.
Yeah. All right, I take that back. Bobby Catton just had the came in with late breaking news from the Hobo Nickel News Network. Bobby Joe comes in shooting Rob with the salt gun. I think that might actually be.
I would pay a super chat for that.
Yeah.
Rob, those doors actually swing in, right?
They swing towards me, correct.
So she could actually kick the doors in and just blast you.
Yeah, they
That's
both go at the
With
same
nothing
time.
but a holster on.
If this happens, I will lose my shit. I think you should buy a second one, Rob, so she can be double fisted and just blah blah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just wondering why I'm surrounded by knives and bread.
So she can,
you guys don't have anything up there. Keith, how are you, sir? Hey, by the way, Keith, thank you for subscribing today. I saw you subscribe to my channel today.
I thought I had done that a week and a half ago, man. And but yeah, I did it today. I wanted to pop in here for a minute and say, Hobo Rob, it was a good first show tonight. Good way to lose your cherry. Hobo, your idea about Mrs. Broom Owner coming in and asking 5 minutes of questions, I think that'd be great, man.
Yeah, right.
And the bullshit about her coming in at the end and hugging Rob and saying, great show, that's a fucked up idea. She could come in with that salt gun and say, come back and see us again next week, boys and girls, and is shooting. That would be even better.
Or
So
the broom. Maybe the broom.
I don't want her hitting you over the head with the broom. I mean, that salt gun was painful enough for you. I don't want you to be.
I have a question about the broom. Is that her choice of transportation?
No,
Or
no.
or what?
Tell the story, Keith.
Rob had a fiasco with the fucking animals that night. He got 14 dogs in the house, and they tried to eat the fucking cat. And so Mrs. Broom owner got the broom out, was trying to separate the dogs from get the cat out of the dog's mouth, and she ended up breaking her broom.
Yeah.
But it was all good. The cat lived. He wasn't hurt. The dogs didn't get hurt.
Yeah, we showed the cat later, and the dogs were fine. Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't get to eat no kitty cat meal that night. So
Nope.
I hate cats.
no, it's been a good show tonight, guys. Really good show.
Cats make good dog food.
Thanks, Keith.
The way you're formatting this now, this is cool. I'm liking this.
Hey,
Good
and
to meet you,
everybody,
Keith.
yeah, send in pictures through the website. We'll put them on the picks of the week, as long as they're good. We'll pick the
Can I
top
take
three.
them off the internet, or is this something I got to take?
All you got to do is email it. Email us some pictures. Go to
Hey, looky there.
BBQ and
Babe.
Josh and Babe, how are you?
Hello. I just wanted to say you did fantastic for Rob and homeowner, or no, Rob is the homeowner, Hobo and Rob's first hot seat. Fantastic job. Good job. Very
Hey,
good.
if we were celebrities, we would be Mr. Hobo Owner.
Yeah.
And if you were husband and wife, you would also be that same title.
That's
So
right.
Husband.
husband and husband.
Yeah.
So
They're hobosexuals.
yeah.
Exactly. That means that you're in a relationship because you're about to become homeless.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true. And you filed taxes together. So Keith, can we talk about is your head cold or what's going on with the
Yeah, my head's cold. Look at that.
Keith, you never finished off the shaving with the electronic shaver.
I itch so bad for the next 3 days. I'm like, fuck that razor shit. I'm not touching.
They have
that
medication
shit
for that.
Yeah.
I mean, but you got some electronic clippers. You could handle the face and the
Yeah, I tried using them 2 days after that, and they itched even more on my face. And I'm like, I'm done with that shit.
So so what you're saying is we're at where we're at.
We're at the full maximum.
We're at full hog right now, or what?
Yeah. You got full hog on that Saturday, dude.
I'm never going to get over the look on that girl's face as you asked her into the house to come and be on YouTube and hand over the clippers. She looked scared as hell.
I back you on that 100%. She was like,
She knew everything that was going on.
yeah, she was like, so you want me to?
She was still scared.
Yeah, she's like, so you want me to come inside
Right.
the house?
Would you like some candy?
Cool.
Like, oh, do you have a van with no windows that says candy? No, we're not at Hobo's house. Stop it.
But
Hey,
yeah,
if you guys saw the that StreamYard link in the chat, we're gonna end this probably in the next couple minutes, but I'll keep the chat going in the offline mode for a little bit here. So just wanted to say thanks everybody for coming out tonight. Thanks Hobo for being my partner. And
Hobo, can you put the sunglasses back on, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
You make a better partner that way.
hey partner. And then Coleman, thanks for being the first guest on the new hot seat.
Thank you very much.
You guys did a good job.
I'm honored to be on here. I appreciate you asking me, and hopefully I didn't embarrass you too much. But
no, the whole show turned out really, really good.
yeah.
From Rob and Hobo with the intro and the commercial and the whole. I think the whole thing turned out really, really good.
Definitely.
Oh, thanks, man. And be sure to catch next week with Butch from the Crazy Pop, Cooking with the Crazy Pop. Start looking on the website soon for information about that one.
Jesus Christ, Bobby Catton. All right.
Oh,
Drink up
jeepers.
your cups.
Oh, no.
If you're on the screen, you got to drink.
Yeah. I gotta quick grab a beer. I guess give me a second.
Babe, you better drink. Babe, drink. Rob had to get a refill.
Hey, Josh, if you can get this Jim Beam repeal batch.
I've never even seen that.
I never saw it before today, but it's actually pretty good.
Dude, that's crazy. Keith, can we talk about your 12-hour live stream that you went to bed and left the live stream? I woke up. Listen, I have this whole chemo thing gives me major insomnia. At 2 and 3 in the morning, I'm awake for some reason. So I'm looking. I'm like, why is Keith still alive at 2 and 3 in the morning? And I'm looking at, and all I see is the green jacket in the dark room, and somebody's like, I just heard a bump and a body dragging across, and I'm like, what?
I was fucking drunk, and I was tired. I needed to go to bed, but when I started that live that night, I only had 44 minutes yet.
Yeah.
To StreamYard cut off my streaming because I was, I'm on the free plan.
Right.
And so I said, after this, I can't stream no more until the 13th.
Oh.
So I have to upgrade my channel. So I need some donations to help me upgrade my channel.
Nice.
So we got a few dollars sent in.
All right.
And then I'm going to go to bed. And Hobo said, no, leave it on. You go to bed. And me and
first of all, never listen to anything that Hobo says.
No, he said, leave it on. And me and whoever's here will try to get you some more super chats. And okay.
Did it work?
So I go to bed. And the next morning, Terry comes in and she starts getting ready for bed. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing here? And she said, I'm going to bed. And I said, what time is it? Because I thought, she took off work early.
Yeah.
She said, it's 9:30.
In the morning?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to get out of bed. And she says, how much did you drink last night? I said, I don't know until I went to bed.
And you said, don't worry about it.
She said, you left your StreamYard on, but I turned it off for you this morning. Fine.
Hey,
I don't know why it was on. Well, then I talked to Hobo last night, and then he told me why it was left on. Okay.
See, this is why Hobo can't call me in the hospital. All of a sudden, they start putting drugs in my IV. It's the only thing.
Today, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who lives outside of Baton Rouge.
Hey, Keith. Let me end this out real quick, and then we'll hop in the after show with.
Okay.
But and also Hobo, I guess this reminds me we need an outro, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I'll work on that this week.
Yes.
That's when your wife's supposed to come in through the door and shoot you. That is the outro.
Rob, who made the intro?
I could belly flash everybody.
Hobo's intro with the fire.
Yeah, that was good. Really good. That was good.
Yeah, so thanks everybody in the chat. I put the link there if you want to join us on the after show. I don't know how long it'll last, but we're having fun tonight. Again,
I need to hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, get Coleman to 1,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, check the description down below. Thank you for all the super chats. Appreciate it. 10% of that's going right to Children's Hospital. Send us some info on if you have some charities in mind for next week. And we'll see you guys next time. Everybody in the chat, in the stream here, to stay where you are. You're not going to go anywhere once I hit the end. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.